Girl-child marriage is a forbidden act in our jurisdiction. We see it to be something that is causing much damage and upbringing of children and the future of children. And being an advocate, child advocate, I see it to be something we need to fight against and make sure that people understand that marriage has its limits. And anytime a child is at a school-going age, is forced to marriage, and it comes to us, we need to make sure that we retain the dowry. We need to make sure that we return the child back to school. We make sure that we educate the mothers, the fathers, the parents, the guardians to understand that every child has to be in school. And if we make a mistake and let the child go into marriage and it comes to we the traditional rulers, we make sure that we collect the child back from the husband and then return the child back to school. And then also you'll be fined for doing that.
We have worked hand in hand with ActionAid. They've given us so much support in this fight against child marriage. Children are being eloped. So sometimes you see as young as 15, 16, 14 being given out in marriage. There's a typical example. We rescued some girl who is even at our facility here now, a home that ActionAid have created for abused children, and this thing we keep there. And she is one of our success story now. Through child marriage, they were sending her to one of the cocoa farming communities in southern part of Ghana when the police intercepted the vehicle. But there is one intriguing story I want us all to know, because we need men in these fights. Usually when women report such cases, it doesn't go far, be it defilement cases and other things. If a woman reports and it involves a relative or a family member who have defiled this girl, you will see that the whole family will rise against this lady. You must drop this case at the police station or else you lose your marriage. But if the men are behind it, you see that nobody goes. There was a defilement case of a girl of 9 years in primary 6 who was defiled by a young man over 30 years. And when it came to the reportage of the case, he reported the case to Dosu. This man was arrested. Then very influential people, chiefs and authorities started going to the father to drop the case. Coming, the man said no, he wouldn't drop the case. So he led a team of other influencers to come to my office as the regional boss in the fight against this canker, just to plead with me to use my good office that this man will be processed at the court. And true to that, we took him to court. Judgment was passed, and this man was convicted to 7 years imprisonment. There have been other cases where anytime a man is behind pushing, you see that the case goes forward. You are able to get a success story out of it. So I think we need more men in this fight.
Very important to the development agenda of this country. And as our great grandfather rightly said, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. If you educate a woman, you educate the whole nation. I was confronted with the reality of girl-child marriage within my traditional area. A young man, he looked with a young girl who is in JHS. The young man who is the culprit happens to be related to one of the chiefs. And the young man was arrested. Fast forward, we were able to rescue the girl and brought her back to school. We're going to make the sanctions more biting in future, not just to serve as deterrent, but to make sure that nobody weighs the price of the crime and goes to commit it.